Hello, in this section of the tutorial on the TI-84 calculator, we're going to explore another part of the math menu just for completeness. And what we're going to do is go over here to the number menu and we're going to explore the functions in here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, the functions in here aren't that useful. I mean, they could be useful in some instances, but I'm really just doing it for completeness so that as you stare at this math menu and you look in here, you won't be all scared by these functions, really is what it amounts to. There's some very easy to understand things going on in here. So we're going to kind of go down these really quickly because some of them are very easy to understand and all of them are a little bit, I don't want to say they're trivial, but they're just not things I don't think you're going to use too often in your calculator. So first we'll go absolute value. I think we may have talked about this one before. You want to take the absolute value of a number. You just stick that number in the parentheses, so the absolute value of -2 is +2. Absolute value is a very simple concept to understand, so I don't think many of you guys are going to be putting that sort of function to task in your calculator, but you never know. Down below that, we have a function for rounding. Everybody knows, most of you guys know how to round numbers already. If you put a number like 3.2 in there, and you want to round it to the nearest decimal, then you have to tell it how many decimal points you want to round to. So we're rounding to 0 decimal points. So basically when we do that, it's going to return the number 3 because we're rounding to the nearest whole number. And of course 3.2 rounds down to 3. Now if we go back and pull up our last entry here, what we just typed in, and we go over here and change this to, instead of a 2, we change it to 3.5. You have to put the comma 0 again because we're going to round to the nearest whole number. Then you see now it rounds up to 4. And of course anything above 3.5 is also going to round up to 4. Now you could go ahead and pull that up again and round it to the nearest. Let's go ahead and type a few more things here. 6, 8, 9 or 8, 7 or something like that. If we want to round to the nearest first decimal point, then we just put a 1 there and it's going to basically round up to 3.6. And so you see you can do that again, and you could say, well, I'm going to go to the nearest second decimal point, like that. And so it's going to round again 3.57. So it's useful, I guess, if you're doing that a lot, but rounding really should be something that everyone knows how to do,